Hey everybody, Dr. Kramer, Hope Upper Cervical Spine Center, and this is another episode of the Upper Cervical Corner. And today I want to go into one of the most common questions that is asked at my office. And that office is asked pretty much of all chiropractic patients or of anyone who has experienced chiropractic in the past. And the question goes something along these lines. Hey doc, how do I make sure that I hold my adjustment longer, right? There's this common confusion that we face in which many of us are like, hey doc, I've seen a chiropractor in the past, one or two times a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is. And I feel good for about 2 days and then I'm right back where I started, right? Why is that? Well, this is a very long, complicated answer that I'm going to seek to simplify for you. And the way that we're going to do this is by thinking about a statement that I love. And that statement is, small hinges swing big doors. Oftentimes, it's really easy to look for something big, right, and obvious to say that caused it, right? I picked my backpack up off the ground. Oh, my back went out, right? Or, hey, I was driving the car, I whipped my neck around, I got vertigo, right? Something along those lines. However, we are very quick to write off the small things that led to that expression of a disorder in our body. And so that can be as simple as looking at a computer screen that is 1 inch too low, right? So instead of having your head over your shoulders, you're looking down, right? It could be as easy as having a computer screen off to your right side. So all day long, for 8 hours a day, you're staying to the right. It could be that you sit at a chair for 4 hours at a time, get up, go to lunch, sit down for another hour, get up, walk back to the office, sit down for 4 hours. You need to stand up. Pretty much every 30 minutes, you should be standing for 10, right? Let's just use that as a rule of thumb. 30 minutes sitting, 10 minutes standing or walking or moving or some type of exercise, right? And so what we are learning here is that this idea that small things accumulate over time to create a problematic presentation of health. So why don't we hold our adjustment? Well, it's very, very straightforward because the simple things matter the most. Do you get sunshine? Are you outside? Do you get 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening? How about, 30 minutes in the middle of the day? Do you sweat on a daily basis, right? How is your nutrition? Are you an American diet eater, which is sad? Or are you following more of the ketogenic carnivorous diet presentation in which we seek to eliminate the processed carbohydrate crap from our diet, which is pro-inflammatory, and seek to do a anti-inflammatory diet, right? These are all things that you are going to have to accumulate into your lifestyle to ensure that you are actually favoring a body that is dynamic, adaptable, ability to respond to stressors externally and internally placed upon the system, right? Those things are all going to be the idea of small hinges swing big doors. Now, as it pertains to chiropractic and the application of why do I not hold my adjustment longer, there's a few things that we have to talk about. Number one, was the need for an adjustment established before any force was put into your body? And meaning, was a scan conducted that showed a thermographic pattern that is repeatable on separate days to establish the idea that you do have a biomechanical dysfunction in your spinal column? Number two, were x-rays taken on the day that the biomechanical scan disruption was performed to match the idea that we have a aberrant scan matching the biomechanical x-rays, right? Those two things have to go together. Number three, on the day you receive your adjustment, does the scan and the x-ray match where the force is delivered? If that is all correct at the right time, the right place, then it has to be, was the right amount of force used? It's not, did the bone crack or did the bone not crack? It's not, hey doc, I felt that one, and the doc going, yeah man, nailed it, right? No, this is a clinical observation. Did I deliver the adjustment at the right time, scan, right place, x-rays, and then did I allow adequate time for your body to recalibrate after the adjustment in a state of rest? Those three things together build the platform for a clinical observation of a resolution of what is called a spinal subluxation, right? That is what we are fixing in the upper cervical world. And so, if those three things are honored while you go through care, over time, you will begin to sustain your adjustment. Now, let's take the typical case. Many of us may go to the joint only when we feel like we got a rib out, right? Oh man, I pulled a rib this weekend pulling some greens out of the garden, right? No, that is not an accurate indicator for you necessarily needing to have a chiropractic adjustment. You lay on a foam roller and crack your back the same way a chiropractor can crack your back. We need to have a better respect for the patient and for the profession, meaning that just because you have a symptomatic presentation doesn't warrant the need for a chiropractic intervention. This is going to change your thought process and how you engage the profession. The goal is to maintain a clear graph. A clear graph means that your body is working the way that it is designed to work. So what we do is we restore normal. And when normal is restored for a period of time, the need for an intervention will be reduced and your ability to sustain and hold an adjustment will elongate to weeks and months at a time. Now, this is where that first conversation comes into play. Because if we live a crap lifestyle where all we are consuming is a carbohydrate-laden, sugar-filled diet, where we are not working out, where we are very slothful in our activities, laying around, drinking all weekend, and being just lethargic in everything that we do, no matter what intervention you choose, whether it is upper cervical care or typical chiropractic care or Western medical care, none of it will help you get to where you have optimal expression of health. Remember, small hinges swing big doors. When we do the small things right over time, we will accumulate the ability to express health. Does that mean that we will not get sick? Absolutely not. The body still has to respond to external and internal stressors. And when those stressors supersede the ability of your immune system, your structural system, your muscular system to respond properly, you will develop a dis-ease, right? And that is a normal, understood thing. So even if we are doing all the small things right, will we accumulate the ability to respond to stress better? Yes. May we actually sustain our health for a longer period of time? Yes. But may stress overwhelm us and create a disease pattern? Yes. But will that be rare? Yes. Right? The idea here is to get the idea that in order to sustain and hold an adjustment, you need to do the small things right. That's one part of the puzzle. The other part of the puzzle is that the adjustment has to be delivered when a scan, a thermographic evaluation of the neurological presentation of the body is aberrant, is wrong, is a pattern, right? It's not a straight line, it's a curvy line. And that curvy line is repeatable over time. And if that repeatable line is repeatable over time, you have to take x-rays to look for where the problem is at. And when those two match up, an adjustment is given, and then time is respected, and then you are reevaluated for a removal of that obstruction, only then will you be able to accurately utilize chiropractic to help you sustain long-term health. Now, one more clarification point. Some of us have a real stubborn neurological system. We have had the problem for 10, 15, 20 years. Will one adjustment clear the pattern? Maybe. Will you hold that one adjustment? More than likely not. It is respectable and honorable to know that you may need more over time in order to build the normal, right? Because if your life has been in a dumpster fire for the last 20 years and you have not done the small things correctly, it's going to take a rebuilding process to reconstitute the expression of health. So make sure that when you are going through this process, you are giving it adequate time, and you are also making adequate health decisions outside of the four walls of the doctor you are seeing to ensure that you are responsibly pursuing the expression of health that you desire. Small hinges swing big doors. In order to sustain and hold your adjustment, you have to do the small things right. Thanks for coming in for this episode of the Upper Cervical Corner. Be back with another episode soon.